whenever I feel like I'm unhappy in something, I just cut it out immediately. From my perspective, what I think people get wrong when they say, oh, I'm doing something that makes me happy. And they think that they're doing something that makes them happy. But in real life, they're doing something that the result of that will make them happy. I can share my voice, I can talk to the world just because of my phone or just because of my laptop. And this is definitely something that people do not appreciate as much as they should. And people do not make use of as much as they should. You're seeing people make money, you're seeing people become famous, and you're gonna let that bring you down or belittle yourself or burn you out or make you feel like you're not doing anything or you're not achieving something. That's on you. That's your problem. It's one, tearing down every other building around, tearing down people's buildings, or just build your own fucking tallest building.
He was passionate about content creation ever since he was 11. But it wasn't until the first lockdown in 2020 that he really started making content every single day. Living in a third world country where there's not much media coverage, people are super focused on other people's opinions and lives as opposed to their own lives. And that was one of the biggest challenges for Kamal, to start talking in English and post everything on social media. He was scared to death that his friends would make fun of him. In this podcast episode, we talk about the impact that social media has on people's mental health, and Kamal's opinion is quite bold and definitely not what we expected. How people use social media to escape their miserable reality instead of recreating a reality for themselves, why it is way more important how one makes money than the amount that he makes. We talk about the business coaches that lie and scam people and much more. Kamal is the first ever guest to come from a third world country, and his mindset is way out of that box. But I will leave you guys to discover that for yourself. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, Kamal Nehme. You are listening to The Grateful Show with your hosts Pascu
and Bogdan. Join us on our mission to spread awareness around mental health and make people feel happier and overall more grateful.
Each week, we bring you an inspiring guest, stories, and a message that will help you become your best self and pursue your life mission.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of The Grateful Show. Hope you are doing fantastic, because if you're not, well, you're about to be, because today we have here Kamal. What is he going, man?
Hey, man, how is it? I hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that.
No, it's our pleasure, actually. We're just going to dive directly into it, and I'm going to ask you, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful for waking up, actually. I'm grateful for actually being able to wake up and live another day and enjoy life. That's the first thing on my mind right now, which is waking up.
Is it a thought that you usually wake up with, or do you have to remind yourself each time how important it is?
I have to remind myself how important it is, because we all pass through bad times. We all pass through hard times. So you have to always watch at the perspective to look at yourself like, okay, bad things are happening, but thank God I'm alive. Thank God I'm doing things. Thank God I'm happy. So I have to constantly remind myself during the hard times, especially. And I guess that's really important to actually live happily.
Definitely, it's part of the process. Kamal, for our audience, like obviously we touch a bit before recording, and apparently we are on the same time zones. So do you want to tell our audience where you are from and what it is that you do, a brief introduction to how you came to be where you are now, basically?
Sure. So I'm in Lebanon right now. I'm Lebanese. I've been creating content for around a year. Like, I've been creating content from when I was a child. I used to create wrestling figure animations when I was 11 years old, but I never actually took it as, okay, I want to start doing this consistently. Up until the first lockdown in 2020, I started creating content every single day, sharing my opinion, sharing my thoughts, sharing my journey with everybody that's interested, and just kind of talking to the world. And that led to me actually getting more clients in social media marketing. And that led to me starting my first agency, which is what I'm doing right now. So from one side, I'm a content creator. I share my voice, I share my opinions. I do funny things as well on my Instagram or YouTube on 7 platforms. And from the other side, I'm building my marketing agency, which is my first business that I'm actually going hard on. And hopefully it won't be the last.
So the reason now, that's amazing, honestly. I mean, you're creating, and then from that thing, you are just developing into a business. But I was just wondering, like, let's say a couple of years ago, before all this Instagram content creation, what was in your mind? Were you thinking about starting to do what you are doing right now, or?
Actually, I always used to watch those creators on YouTube, like with PewDiePie and
Yeah.
David Dobrik.
Yeah.
I always used to watch those, but I never actually thought like, oh, I can do things. I can do that as well. Like I have the capabilities. I can do that. I have my phone. So it was never actually in my plans. But because I shared one post back in March 2020 or back in January 2020, when I used to be a graphic designer, I shared like that one post and it got a few likes, got a few comments, and I was like, okay, that's good. I shared something and people loved it. So I then started to share twice a week and then 3 times a week, and then developed to every single day. And then I found that I fucking love this. Like I never knew that I love to hold my phone and talk to people. I always knew that I wanted to influence people. I always knew, because whenever we're in a group of people with my friends, I always want to be the one talking and people, the people listening. So I do a lot of listening, but I want to be the one that's sharing the opinion as well. So I found that Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and Twitter allows me to do that. So which is why I went that route.
It's very interesting, and I think very insightful for our audience as well. You mentioned that you were doing graphic design at the time, just before like the lockdowns, the worldwide lockdowns, and then I guess in a matter of weeks, months, you just started showing yourself out more on camera. Wasn't it difficult? Did it come all natural, or how did you perceive it at the time? Because right now, I can easily tell that you are very confident and
Yeah.
you just don't need any scripts and you can just go with the flow when you talk to your to the camera on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere. But was it like this when you started?
It was definitely hard, and it was harder for me because I come from Lebanon, so my native language is Arabic. So my
Yeah.
thinking is in Arabic. So that
Yeah.
thinking on the spot was hard, because when I used to answer questions, for example, I used to take the question, used to answer in Arabic in my mind, and then translate it and then say it. So it was hard to actually go with the flow of the conversation or actually grab the phone and talking. But by doing it every single day, it started to become natural for me. Like my mind right now just naturally thinks in English instead of Arabic, which is what I used to do. So my mind naturally thinks in English. I even talk in English with my sister right now. So it's become way more natural because I started to do it every single day. And this is the thing about consistency. Like when you do the
Yeah.
thing every single day, you're bound to be better. You're bound to make it a habit. Like we never learned to walk. We just walk and fell every single day. And then you learn how to walk. So it's just consistency, just doing it every day. This is what helped me.
It's funny because it's we can actually relate, because it's the case with us as well. We are originally from Romania, so that thing with first you have to translate it in your native language in your
Yeah.
head, and then to say it out loud in the other language. You're like, okay, did I say it right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes. Isn't
It
it?
didn't really make sense, or like I found a lot of the times with like jokes, whenever you are try to translate a joke or a saying, it never goes the right way. And people are
Yeah.
like, what did you mean by that?
And especially like when I went live for the very first time, it was super hard. Like I received the questions before going live,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
wrote the answers on a piece of paper and just stuck the answers on there so that I can read them in the live. And right now I just go live whenever I want and have anybody ask me anything, because I got used to it. I did it every single day, and that's it.
That's fantastic. You just get more confident, and yeah, just curious. Where do you see yourself in, let's say, 3, 5, 10 years? What's your biggest goal that you currently have?
Actually, I don't look at myself in a 3-year window or a 5-year window, because for me, 5 or 3 years, that's way too short. It's way too short, 3, 4, 5 years. I look at myself in 10, 15, 20 years.
Okay.
And in 20, 15 years, I do want to be able to have a big platform to talk to people. So whether it's Instagram, to YouTube, Twitter, whatever, have access to a lot of people, because I love to talk to people. I love to share my opinion. I love to share my voice. And I think I can inspire people. I believe that in me. So I do want to have this big platform to actually influence people. And I do want to be happy with what I'm doing. Like whenever I I feel like I'm unhappy in something, I just cut it out immediately. So I do want to continue doing what makes me happy, which is right now building my marketing agency, building another business, whatever that comes up to my mind. I don't have a specific niche. I just love to create something. So
Yeah,
like one
because
of
I
my,
was,
yeah,
yes,
continue.
sorry. With that, I was just about to ask you: is there like a specific subject that you want to talk about, like more, or you just go like extremely wide about everything?
Like I don't talk about anything and everything, especially
Mm-hmm.
on the platforms, but I do talk about what interests me, what I love to talk about. Like, okay, I love alcohol, but I don't do a post about bartending
Yeah.
or about cocktails, because that's just it's not how I want people to remember me with. But I do talk about what interests me, whether it's business, whether it's social media, whether it's entrepreneurship, mindset. I don't limit myself to only social media, for example, marketing. I talk about whatever interests me, but to keep it in, like, I still want to create that one image for the people that are watching me, which is who is Kamal Nehme, and this is what I want people to remember me with. So I share everything that interests me.
Kamal, you mentioned that you always want to drive with that thought in mind that the things that you do have to make you happy. And I guess another very good word to correlate with happiness in this case would be fulfillment. But I want you to like explain to our audience what you mean by being happy, because probably both me and Bogdan and the audience knows that when you start something, when you embark on a journey, either if it's entrepreneurship, learning a new skill, learning how to play an instrument, it's gonna be very tough. There's gonna be a lot of challenges. You're gonna feel like crap, and you're probably not gonna be happy like day in and day out, in a sense that there's gonna be things that you have to do, you don't
Yeah,
really want to do, like you
yeah.
have to wake up early, you have to do things a certain way so you get things done in a certain time frame. So how do you see that all
From
that
my from
correlating?
my perspective, what I think people get wrong when they say, "Oh, I'm doing something that makes me happy," and they think that they're doing something that makes them happy, but in real life, they're doing something that the result of that will make them happy. So this is where
Mm-hmm.
people find things wrong. Like, "Oh, I want to be an entrepreneurship because making money is being happy for me, or having freedom of time is happy for me." But what people don't realize is actually doing what makes you happy means enjoying the process more than enjoying the results, means enjoying doing it, actually doing it more than the result. So people think, oh, I'm doing what makes me happy. No, you're doing what will make you happy because of the result, not because of the thing. So this is what I think people get wrong, which is to actually do something that makes you happy means to actually doing it every single day without getting bored, without getting frustrated, waking up excited, like wake up in the early morning excited to do it because it makes you happy, not because, oh, it's not making me money right now, so that's why I'm not happy. So
Mm-hmm.
doing it
Mm-hmm.
every single day, waking up excited to do it, like choosing everything over it. Like a lot of times, my friends ask me to come hang out, or my friends ask me to go out and have fun. I'd be like, no, I don't want that. I want to come sit at the desk and work because this is what makes me happy. And watching Netflix, for example, does not make me happy. And working on my content makes me happy. So me working on my content is the equivalent of Netflix for somebody else, or is the equivalent of binge watching a series for somebody else. This is why I think it's important to do what makes you happy.
Would
What
Yeah.
you I really want to see your thoughts on this. Would you say that there are people that truly, like truly, genuinely, deep down inside them want and enjoy watching Netflix for like
Yes,
hours and hours and hours on end?
1,000%. Like a lot of people just really actually enjoy watching series. They love the stories, they love the characters, they love to connect with the characters, and they genuinely enjoy watching a series or binge watching Netflix. But what I say is, if you truly enjoy that, if you truly love that, you can make a business out of it. You can start a podcast around Netflix series. You can start
Definitely.
a page around Netflix series and talk about series every single day. Do a series review show, create a show on YouTube that talks about the trending series. Like you can turn that into, if you actually genuinely really love it, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
doing it just to waste time or just to make you forget your shitty job.
Yeah,
If you
that's why I
actually love
asked.
it, yeah, if you actually love it, then make something out of it. Create a show around it, create a podcast, create a business around it, and it can be done. This is the beautiful thing in 2020, and with your phone, it can be done.
Yeah, that's so true. I guess we all just choose from where we get our dopamine. And you have just said earlier that we have to enjoy the journey, like the ups and downs. And it just came to my mind, if you can share with our audience, let's say one of your challenges and how you overcame it, like how you got it done, and what was your thinking
Yeah.
process back then.
For me, this is super personalized because I'm in Lebanon. For me, the first challenge that I faced, which is not caring what other people think, because here in Lebanon, the culture or the community or just the way people are raised, the way people are raised really care. They care a lot about other people. So from your parents, when your mother tells you, "Oh, why are you not doing good at school? Your cousin is doing better than you," or why your I don't know, your neighbors are doing better than you. The neighbor's son is doing better than you. From the way we are raised, we care a lot about what other people think. They gossip a lot. They care. Oh, look what he's dressing. Oh, look what he said. Look what they never. People never think about themselves, and they always think about the other. So me putting my phone, posting a video, I always had something in mind like, oh, now my friends are gonna sit around and make fun of me. Like now my friends are gonna send a screenshot on the WhatsApp group and make fun of me. And look at what that stupid guy is doing. So this is the thought that I always had in mind. But I just like I was fuck it. I'm not gonna stop doing something that makes me happy just because of them or just because of people. Like this is what makes me happy. And right now, the same people that I thought are gonna make laugh at me are asking me for advices, are asking me like how to do it or how are you doing it. Like the same people that are gonna laugh at you now are gonna ask you for advice in five years, in 2 years, 3 years. So this is this challenge that I had to overcome, and I did it, and it was one of the best things that I did.
I think for you, like I can definitely relate with myself, and I think Bogdan can
Yeah,
relate with it as well.
definitely.
Maybe Romania is not in that position anymore as much, but still, when you compare it to like countries from the Western world, like the UK, for example, the mentality and the way people think of others and how they operate overall is completely different.
I just want to tell you something like, when Joe Biden and Donald Trump were doing the elections, hashtag Joe Biden and Trump, like the hashtag US elections was trending in Lebanon on Twitter. Like to see how much Lebanese think of others, it was trending on Twitter and everybody was talking about it, even though it doesn't have anything to do with Lebanon or
Yeah.
like just people. This is how Lebanese people are wired. They always like to look around everything. It's the best. They are the best people, the most friendly, but they think a lot about other people and they care a lot about other people's.
Yeah, talking a little bit about Lebanon, your country. I was just curious, what's the situation out there like with the pandemics, and can you like resume a little bit the country?
It's shitty, and then in one word, it's just shitty, because with pandemic, corrupt politicians that have been ruling Lebanon for 30 years, and the economic crisis because of those politicians and everything, it's just bad, really bad, and I don't know if there is a change in the short term because those corrupt politicians also have a lot of corrupt citizens that support them. This is the
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
this is the funny thing, is that and those corrupt citizens are also poor and are also affected by the economic crisis, but they're just blinded by their leader.
Mm.
And with the inflation right now, it's just so hard to actually do something.
Would you say that social media is kind of changing the space a bit? Like, thanks to social media, people like you have an opportunity to do something as opposed to
Thousand
like,
percent. 1,000%. Everybody has a chance to actually do something regardless of where they live. And this is the thing that I want to prove, is even though Lebanon is going through the shittiest period ever, I am making something and I will do it and I will make it and I will create a business and I will make money and I will impact people despite everything that's happening. So this is kind of the thing that I want to show people.
Yeah, if you can do it like in this, let's say, hard times, you can do it whenever. Because if you can
Yeah.
go through,
yeah.
like if you manage to do your thing in the hard times, I mean, when it's
I mean,
gonna settle
nobody's
down, it's
gonna.
gonna be not easy, but maybe easier.
Yeah, like I do think it's not that I'm happy about it. Of course, I'm not happy about the country
Definitely.
crumbling, but I am content that I'm doing this in the hard times because this is like a challenge for me. Like if I can't do it right now, I don't think I will be able to do it when things are way better. So it's kind of like a challenge for me of, okay, I want to make it, even though despite everything that's happening, I do want to do it. So it's like a challenge for me. It's exciting.
Would you say that you would like in the future to leave your country and just move somewhere else, or are you content with staying there?
I do want to move, not because of the shitty situation, but because of the scalability, because of the, like Lebanon is a third world country. There is not a lot of focus on it, not a lot of, like, for example, local media coverage, events happening. So I do want to move to a place where I can expand my content, where I can expand my network to a more global or more international place. So yeah, I do think of that.
Yeah, that's very nice. I really love how you portrayed it. You don't want to move because of the country, because of the bad things that are going in the country, but because of you, because you want to do something more.
Exactly.
And out there, it's gonna be, so let's say, easier. There are gonna be more opportunities
There's
to
gonna
do
be
well.
way more opportunities because, like in Lebanon, it's like people don't even know Lebanon exists. Some people don't even know Lebanon exists. So it's definitely a new opportunity if I move someplace else, for example, like New York or somebody. It's definitely super hard to move, but it's a dream.
I guess when that will happen, you're probably one of your biggest advantages. I would say an unfair advantage is going to be the fact that you're an immigrant and you've been in this position right now for a couple of years, going through difficulties, trying to change
Yeah.
the economy, trying to change the system. And then when you go somewhere else where things are, let's say, a bit better, it's probably going to be way easier for yourself to like find opportunities, create connections, and so on and so
and
forth. So
and actually the thing that I want to move because of that is I have so many ideas of content that involves around going down the street and talking to people. I have so many ideas of that, and I just can't do that here in Lebanon because first of all, my content's on English. I want to reach people around the world, and
yeah.
I can't go down the street talking English while people here talking Arabic. So
Yeah.
that's actually one of the things is I have so many ideas that involves me going down the street and talking to people, but I just can't do them.
I mean, I'm not sure how far you are and how accessible it would be, but you could be thinking of moving to Dubai sooner than later rather
Yeah,
than New York, because I think it's a bit more realistic for you to move there.
yeah, that's actually something I'm thinking about as well. Like the Emirates Dubai is also a great place to go to.
Kamal, we touched upon, I guess, your mentality and why you do the things that you do, but I wanted to ask you, what is one thing that you are the most grateful for? It could be an event, it could be anything that really made you appreciate
Uh,
life.
what I'm grateful for is not an event; it's a situation which is being born in this era right now, which is the era of social media, of internet, of content creation, of YouTube. Being born in that era is something that I'm really happy about because I can just like grab my phone, record a video, and this video going viral on TikTok, and my life changing just like that. Like this cannot be. This doesn't happen in my parents' lifetime, for example. This just
Definitely.
couldn't be happen. So I'm so grateful to be able to live in that era where I can do what I love. I can share my voice. I can talk to the world just because of my phone or just because of my laptop. And this is definitely something that no people do not appreciate as much as they should, and people do not make use of as much as they should.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you just think about it, throwing back, let's say, not that much, let's say 50 years or 100 years back, you couldn't be really talking about, or you couldn't express yourself
Yeah,
Yeah.
that well, or if you, even if you did, there weren't that much of an audience. They were just your
exactly.
friends or like your neighbors, and that was kind of it. And now, like you said, on social media, you can post something and everybody's gonna see it.
Exactly. And this is what, like, when I hear people say, I want to change my life, and I be like, okay, you're holding your phone. You can do that. Like, you can just grab your phone, film a TikTok, and it happened. There are a lot of examples like Bella Porch, like the D'Amelios, like Addison Ray. Those are people that actually changed their lives just because of a TikTok, just because they posted a video on TikTok. The video went viral, and now they're making millions of dollars just dancing on TikTok. And it's
Yeah.
possible for everyone.
Yeah, that's so true. I was just talking actually with Dragos, and you were talking about, like, in this world, you are either the one who is creating or the one who is consuming. I mean, of course, we
That's
are all consuming, but
yeah.
you want
Yeah.
to create something as well, because otherwise, if you just consume, like, you will never like leave something back.
Definitely, yeah, I do agree on that. And people consume way too much
Yeah,
and not create enough. People spend their time consuming and they don't just don't create.
yeah,
Like it's good to consume, yes. When a new platform like TikTok, for example, comes out and you don't know anything about it, yes, you should consume every single day 3 hours of it just to understand how people think, how the psychology of people on that platform, how people react to it, what works, what doesn't, and then learn how to create content that works with the platform, that is contextual to the platform.
Hmm. Hmm.
But just don't over consume.
I just wanted to not necessarily change the subject because it is correlated to social media, but I was very curious and I think this would be valuable for our people listening as well.
Yeah.
What is your current take on the effects that social media has on mental health and on loneliness? Let's say upon teenagers, especially.
I do think it's different for everybody. It's not the same.
Mm.
It's just how you look at it. Like this is where it comes back to perspective. It comes back to how you look at the world. Like if you grab your phone and look at all the teenagers, for example, that are your age and making money online and being famous, and that brings you down, it's your
mhm,
fault. This is on you. You have to take that shit. But
yeah,
if you look at them and get motivated and be like, I want to do that as well, and turn off your phone and start doing it, this is you actually doing something. So I don't believe in what people say like social media is negative or social media affects the mental health. It only affects you if you let it, if you
yeah,
actually let it
Mm.
affects you, because it's all about how you look at it. If you look at it from a point of view that you're gonna let it bring you down, you're seeing people make money, you're seeing people become famous, and you're gonna let that bring you down or belittle yourself or burn you out or make you feel like you're not doing anything or you're not achieving something, that's on you. That's your problem. But if you can look at it and say like, okay, I want to do that as well. I want to be like that person. And you start taking action, that's good. That's helpful. And this is what happened with me. Like I watched a lot of people doing something, a lot of people achieving things online. And I didn't say like, oh, I'm not achieving something, I'm bad.
I
No,
feel bad. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I want to do that as well. And I started doing it.
yeah. I really love how you portrayed all this comparison thing, because in a way it can be very harmful, because let's say that you are on Instagram and you should be working and you just look at someone and you see that they are just, I don't know,
Laying on the
partying
beach.
exactly, or on the beach, and you're like, holy shit, I wish I was there, and you just all of a sudden become very sad. Or it can be like the other way around. Okay, so if that person done it, I
Yeah,
mean, I can do it as well, right?
100%, 100%.
Yeah, so it's just about it's all about perspective.
It's all about like what gets to you, what you
Mm.
let affect you.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's a worth thing to add is a thing that we probably have been mentioning quite a lot last year on the podcast is the fact that at the end of the day you are in control of what you see.
Yeah,
Like if you get certain ads, you get those ads because you've been watching certain types of content. If you see certain type of people on your feed like models half naked, that's your fault because you've been following that type of content. Like it's
yeah.
not Instagram's fault. Instagram is only recommending you more of
What
the
you
things that you're engaging with.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's just like comes back to how you use the platform, whether you use it for your own benefit or whether you use it to escape your shitty job, like to
Mm,
escape mentally. But
mm,
like you can use it to escape your shitty job by creating a new job for yourself, or you can use it to escape your shitty job by keeping your job but feeling bad about it. That's the
mm.
difference.
Yeah.
Very smart way of putting things.
Come on, I just wanted to change a little bit the subject,
Yeah.
and just wanted to ask you, what are three things that have worked for you and you would recommend to the others as well to do in order to become happier overall throughout their days?
Three things that make me happy. First of all, talking to my sister, which is one of the best people in my life. I even have a tattoo of her name. So family for me is really the number one. Talking with my sister and my friends, that's number one. Actually, for me, it's what makes me happy is working, is actually creating content, is actually doing something, actually working on my content, working on my content for my clients as well. So that's also makes me happy. And like these are the things, the two things that are on top of my mind right now, which is those two things, just family and doing what I love, which is talking to people and communicating with people. Those are the two things right now.
Definitely. Thanks for sharing. And like obviously for people listening right now, the second thing can be anything that you guys enjoy doing. Like if for you is swimming, then you
Yeah.
should be swimming more. But I definitely gotta acknowledge you for sharing everything so far. And as far as it goes with the relationship with your sister, I'm definitely in a position right now to say that the lockdown and like all the changes overall have probably made not just me, but a lot of us younger people, let's say, be more in touch with our families. Because like me personally, I didn't used to stay with them as much or listen to them as much, or I would just don't care if I'm away from home for a whole year and not see them. You're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on the
definitely,
same.
definitely.
Yeah. Just wanted to ask you, would you consider being rich as something selfish?
No, definitely not. Money, it's not a status. Money is a tool. It's a tool to do something. And I want to become rich. I want to become rich because I have a mind that I love to do. Like right now, I have a lot of things that I want to do, but they require a certain amount of money, which is why I'm building the agency to the point where it starts making me money so that I can do something else. So money is definitely a tool and it's an important one. People don't talk about money enough. That's what I think. Like they be like, oh, I don't want to talk about money because it's been like I'm showing off. No, I do want to become rich. I do want to make money eventually, and I do want to make good amount of money because I want to do a lot of things. I want to create multiple businesses. I have multiple products in mind that I want to execute on and just be happy with. So definitely not selfish. It's just a goal for people. But it depends on how you want to make your money, and it depends on how are you anticipated to make the money. Like for me right now, for my agency, I'm not expected to make money for the next 5 years. Like I just want to make income and just put it back in the business, make income and put it back in the business. I do not expect to make any revenue, any profit. So I just want to put it back in the business. So it all depends on how fast you want it and how do you want to make your money. This is where people,
Would
I
you
think, fall behind.
would you say that the amount of money that you make is not as important as the way in which you make that money?
You can make like you can anybody can right now start create a course about how to make millions and sell it. Like it's important how you make your money. It's just not important of how much. Like you can make any amount you want, but it's important of how you make it. Are you making it selling actually useful stuff, or are you making it scamming people, or are you making it selling fake courses or bullshit coaching courses, or selling things that are actually not useful? So definitely, I'm a huge fan of making money in a good way, in the way that actually brings value to people. You're bringing value to people and not making money just scamming people. Like there are people who have never
Yeah.
built a business that actually teaches people how to build a business, and they're making money. They're making way more than what everybody else is doing, but it's just not good money. It's scam money.
Yeah, it's
I
really important, and I really love how you portrayed it. I mean, of course, it's way more important, like to think about first what you can give, and if you really look back on all these big companies and all these
Yeah,
big people, successful people, they didn't. Maybe they did, but their first thought in their mind wasn't to make money. Most probably was to how can they help, how can they give value, and how can they then
solve a
improve the
problem.
society. Yeah, solve all the problems, isn't it?
exactly. Exactly. How to create something that is useful, whether it's changing the world, whether it's changing the way people do something, or whether it's making it easier for somebody to do something, or whether it's disrupting an industry and creating something totally new. It always relates to the people, to the consumer, to what is it helpful for them, or what solves their problem, or what creates a new way of doing something. Which is why some of the biggest people like Elon Musk,
Mhm.
all of their visions is for the future, is for making things better in 5, 10 years, and not just like fixing right now or selling as many cars right now, for example.
Definitely, I have to mention this on the podcast. It amazes me how many courses out there. There are so many courses that teach you on how to make your own course. Therefore, you make another course and teach people how to make their own courses, and it's like a whole course making machine that is just going on and on
And
and
it's
on. People teaching people how to teach
so
people on how to teach people.
this is it. The digital products or the courses industry, it's a big industry, and it's really good. But there are so many scammers out there. There are so many people that are pretending to be experts, and just like, for example, business coaches. I see everybody is. I don't know why, but everybody is a business coach. Everybody out there is a business coach, and they've never actually built a business. But their whole business is built around them teaching people how to build a coaching business. So I don't know what type of business is that, but it's just fucked up. Like, okay, I've never built a business, but I'm gonna have you pay me $10,000 so I can teach you how to have other people pay you $10,000 so that they
Exactly,
can. I
exactly.
don't know. It's just all messed up.
Well, again, a lot of good things came with social media, but obviously a lot of bad things as well in terms of like the way people
Definitely.
sell stuff, the way people are manipulated, and so on and so forth. But come on, I wanted to ask you, what are the things that you want to be remembered for after you die?
There's one thing I want to be remembered for. Two things actually. Number one is I want to be remembered as the guy or the man that made it despite everything that he went through, or everything that he lived, which is despite everything, whether being born in Lebanon, whether it's being born in a third world country in a shitty economic situation, despite everything that went through, and he actually made it because of social media. That's one. And number two, as a person, I want to be known as the kindest and most authentic motherfucker that ever did something and actually built something for with the people.
I really love
Why?
how, yeah, I really love, to be honest, sorry for interrupting, how you just came along people, you just come along people that when you ask them this question, the answer is not a selfish one. And it's just all about, okay, I want to be remembered for the things that I left, for the things that all the things that I helped the other people with. And it's really, really nice. And I really have to accomplish you as well for,
Thank you so much. Yeah,
for your
because
mindset.
like everything I'm doing right now, especially on social media, okay, I'm sharing my thoughts and I'm sharing my opinions, but it's
Yeah.
not just to grow my own fan base or to grow my own audience. It's because I want to influence people. I want to help them, motivate them. Like I can't right now go around and say, "Oh, do this, do that, do this, do that." I'm not in a position to do that. So what? How can I influence them? Is by sharing my journey, sharing my failures, sharing what I'm doing, which I hope actually motivates somebody to watch my video and go do something for their own. Like when right now I'm creating a series called Building My Agency, which is I show people how I'm building the agency, what are the steps I'm taking, which direction I'm going, what are the mistakes I'm doing. So I'm doing that just to show people what I'm doing so that I can hopefully motivate somebody or inspire somebody to actually go do it themselves. Not to stay watching me do it. No, go do it yourself.
Very interesting. I wanted to ask you. You pointed out that you want to be the kindest motherfucker alive. But why is kindness so important to you? Why do you think that is?
It's not important. It's not just important for me. It's important for the whole world because the whole world is
Mm,
built on kind. When you're kind to somebody, first of all, you don't care about what they do. You don't judge them, and
yeah.
they don't judge you. You can do whatever you want without feeling of, oh, what will people think or what will that person think, and there will be no hate. You can't hate on somebody. Like kindness is just, for me, it's just the best thing in the world. If everybody can be kind to each other, they can just stop beating themselves up, stop hating each other, actually start supporting themselves, supporting other people, supporting them on doing things, even though they're gonna make them better. Like even though this man is more successful than me or he's making more money than me, I'm still gonna support you. I'm still gonna root for you to win because I'm not putting my selfish beliefs over your own accomplishments. I'm happy for you. So
Yeah.
kindness is just it's just beautiful. It's very beautiful, and it gets you it gets you ahead a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people are just forgetting about it because they most probably they just think that if they want to be successful, they just have to drag somebody down. But the thing that most people don't understand is that, I mean, everybody can win in any situation. There's no losers
Yeah.
and winners. I mean, we can all win. Obviously, some people are going to win more than the others, but that depends on our efforts and our energy and everything that you put into what you
And
want to accomplish.
there's something that Gary Vee says that I really love, which is there are two ways to build the biggest building in the world. It's one, tearing down every other building around, tearing down people's buildings, or just build your own fucking tallest building. So that's how people, a lot of people are too busy with tearing down other people's buildings so that their own building can be the tallest. And instead of actually focusing on actually building your own building, brick by brick by brick by brick.
Couldn't agree more. And I think it's worth noting the fact that, in my own opinion at least, in majority of the cases when someone is not kind, referring back to our point with kindness,
Yeah.
it's purely because they are not content with themselves. They are not content with
100%.
what they're currently doing, and they don't realize, they don't have the awareness necessary to realize that all of their frustration, all of their I guess shortcomings, get portrayed and reflected on other people that are maybe trying to do something. Maybe they are trying to build something,
100%.
and yeah, they might not be good, but they are trying. And those people come right at them and with hating, DMing them things, gossiping around them, and at the end of the day, they're not gonna be fulfilled. They're not gonna be happier
Exactly.
by doing that.
Nobody who is actually happy in their lives or actually content in what they're doing and actually proud of themselves and what they're doing is gonna go around and hate on people they don't even know. Like, no, that's just not. I've never even the idea never came across my mind to actually go hate on somebody because I'm happy. I'm living my own life. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm satisfied. Why would I try to bring people down? Unless I am somebody that's insecure and not happy.
Yeah.
So I just want to bring them down and be like,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to be happy. If I'm not happy, you're not allowed to be happy. So that's why people hate.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more on that. Just wanted to change a little bit the subject and ask you, what's one thing, like in this moment, that you would like to change about yourself? One thing that you are struggling, or one thing that, like, from you that stays in your way to become a better person or just to accomplish more?
I feel like right now, for well, I'm gonna talk about what I've been facing recently. Right now,
Yeah.
I feel like if I was a bit, I don't know, a bit stricter with dealing with who I'm gonna work with, I think I would be a better person. Is because like no, actually no. I was gonna
No worries.
actually no. That's a good thing. No, keep that. Actually, that's a good thing. I was gonna say that because I'm really too kind to my team, that's hurting me. But I'm actually really thinking about it now, right now, and it's something that's good. I want to be that kind to my team. So, what I actually for at the top of my head, nothing because actually I don't want to be like, oh, I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I have a lot of weaknesses, but there's nothing that I think of right now that I want to change. Like, oh, that's not bad. That's not allowing me to be what I am. I don't have anything in mind. I do have a lot of weaknesses. I do need to improve my, for example, sales skills. I do need to improve my awareness skills, but it's not something that's actually dragging me down. It's just something that I need to improve over time or something I need to work on. But it's not something that's very crucial that's bringing me down. I don't know if that's the answer to your question.
I mean, it does, because if you're content with who you are and if you know that what you do and who you are is like the person who you want to be and the person who you know that is going to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, and there are just like some small things here and there that you need to improve, like let's say skills, like that's the best case scenario in my opinion.
Definitely, like in terms of skills, I do lack a lot of things, which is I'm either gonna work on to improve, or I'm gonna get somebody that's better than me and those to do it. If we're talking about skills to build the agency, but in terms of like humans and life and such, I'm really happy with who I am and who I turned out to be. out of all of those years, and I'm still exploring, still improving, still developing.
Awesome. For our audience, to get a better understanding, how old are you now? Because they're gonna look back at this podcast in 5 years' time and they're gonna be like, this motherfucker made it.
I'm 22 right now.
Fair enough. So, guys listening, there's no reason for you to not be doing content. There's no reason for you to not be chasing the things that you enjoy doing. As you see here, we have the clear example that it doesn't matter where you are from. It doesn't matter the circumstances. There are so many tools and I guess avenues and opportunities to be taking advantage of right now. And with that said, I am very mindful of our audience time, of your time. Therefore, I'm just going to wrap things up by asking you the final question of the show, the question that we ask each guest in the end. So just take your time with it.
Yeah.
Basically, you are on your deathbed. You are just minutes away from your death. There's no pain involved. You know that you are going to die, but right before that happens, you have to get face to face with the best version of yourself. You see that person, you look them in the eye, you see and comprehend what you could have become. How would you react in that moment, and how would you feel about your life and the things that you've been through overall?
That's I'm gonna have to get back to you on that after 2 days, because that's I'm gonna have to write an essay about that. So if I am on my deathbed and I met my best version of myself, and that version of myself, have I achieved that, or this is the version I could have become?
That's the version that you could have become, basically.
Oh, that's fucked up. Like, because why is it fucked up? Because I try to live my life with zero regrets. Like, I don't want to reach that point where I'm on my deathbed and I see who I could have become, and I was like, oh, I didn't do that because I overthink or because I didn't execute. Like, I try to execute on every single idea I have. I try to execute on every single interest I have, so that I don't reach a point where I'm 80, 90 and I regret doing something. Which is why, for like, until now, I'm 22 years old, I've changed like 7 fields. Like, I've been into wrestling, wrestling animation, I've been into bartending, into music, into skateboarding, into football. Right now, content creation. Like, I've done a lot of things, and I will keep on doing a lot of things. So if I ever reach that point, I would just say, you fucked up. That's what I would say. You fucked up because you didn't actually live the way you actually talked to. You never actually lived the way you wanted. Because I want to live a life where I don't regret anything. So if I actually reach a point, this means I was not up to the challenge. This means I was not up to my words, and I didn't stood up for that. So I would just say, you fucked up, man.
Yeah, but I'm more than sure that you're just gonna be looking in a mirror, so there's no doubts for that. Yeah, Kamal, thank you so much again for your time. And just before we let you go, you have the red carpet. You can just share with your audience again what you do, how you can help them, and where they can find you briefly.
I just want to say one thing, like, for everybody that's listening, for everybody, wherever you are, negativity and bad things are all around. If you want to find negative, if you want to find bad things, it's very easy. It's just very, very easy to find negative things and find bad things and let it affect you. But you don't have to, because you actually can do something, you can achieve, you can create, you can grow if you just do more, and you can be more, and you just a change of perspective. So negativity is very easy to find. So stop looking for it and just go to the 1%, which is positive, and embrace that and just go do something. Just go actually execute. Stop sitting around, execute. Thank you so much, boys, for having me. If you want to find me anywhere on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, it's Kamal.Nehme. So thank you so much, guys, for having me. I really appreciate that. And thanks for the listeners as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're gonna just list those accounts in the bio, in the description of the podcast. And yeah, it's been a pleasure for us, and most probably for our audience as well. And until next time, this is Bogdan.
This is Pascu. You guys heard Kamal. Go execute. Until
Yeah.
next time, stay grateful.
Take care.
Thank you so much for sticking all the way till the end. This shows that you are serious about taking your life to the next level and doing that through a perspective of gratitude. If you enjoyed this interview, it would help us massively if you could give us a 5-star rating review on iTunes, or else share this on your stories and tag us. This way, with your help, our message will be seen by more people and together we will make this world a better place.